So, all right, we have Ali with us. I think your score is 99.66, if I'm not wrong.
Hi, sir. Yes, this is Ali, and yes, I got a 99.66 this time.
Hmm. Good. And what is your sectional breakup?
So, sectional breakup, I got around 41 marks in VARC, around 34 marks in LRDI, and 33 in Quant. So, all of them are 99 around percent, 98, 99 around all three sections.
And what is your strongest area among these?
So I usually used to think that VARC was my strongest area, but during the exam, I felt this time VARC was a little bit trickier for slot two. And surprisingly, QA, I used to feel that it was my weak area all the time, but I think I did surprisingly well in QA this time compared to usual. So I think all the tests and practices that we've been doing, it kind of grilled me to be able to tackle that section much better.
Okay. Excuse me. And how did your score improve or percentile improved over the first from the first mocks versus last mock?
Yes, sir. So to be honest, actually, this is my second attempt at CAT. I had attempted CAT last year as well in 2023. So last time I had just done like 2 months of preparation. When I started preparation, मुझे तो कोई idea नहीं था कि what is CAT. So I just saw like okay, let's crack this exam. Let's do something and start with preparation. And my prep was all over the place because I did not have a fixed pattern on what to study. I went through literally every YouTube video I could find, every instructor, and even the day before the exam I was still covering my concepts. So even exactly before the exam day I was still revising formula and stuff. And last time in CAT I had gotten 41 marks in total, around 41 or 43, I don't remember, off the scale up. So it was a 90 percentile around I'd gotten last time. And in QA I'd gotten like 3 marks, 3 marks in QA. So that felt really weird to me. It kind of felt shameful also, and I was like, "This is not my potential." Like just 3 marks out of the whole paper. These are questions. I could only crack one question. So I was really feeling like, okay, let's have one more attempt at this exam. And this time I have time as well. Because last time I did not have time. So this time let's fix a good study pattern and have a good crack at this exam. And last time as well, when I was going through all these YouTube videos, and well, Ravi sir had started the Rodha ka booster batch last year, and this time there was a full session starting. So I just blindly went for that because I felt that okay, this is going to help me because that helped me to get some semblance last time. So I joined in the batch one for 24, and I've been religiously doing all the material that's been given. So we had lots of books that were given, right? The material books and stuff, and there were topic tests being given time to time in the portal, which had like 10 questions each in 20 minutes time, something around that. So I kept doing all of those, and even initially my scores were not good. So I was getting really bad marks in those topic tests as well, but I kept redoing the same test again and again until I had that, like, acha. I kept doing the sum until I was able to crack it in the given time. And then there were all these sessions given by teachers. आपके sessions थे on geometry and algebra at the end, and all those various tips and tricks and everything of that sort. It helped to boost my foundation. Definitely, I can say that because that's the most important thing. To be honest, it's not like you have to learn a fancy formula. You have to know your fundamentals correctly, which is what all the teachers at Rodha have been stressing since day one. Okay, it's not necessary that you do a high-fi problem. Pehle get the foundations done. And we also had difficult problems in the RCMs, the mock tests that we had. But then we had explanations for that so that we could navigate that. call it, well prepared. I knew it inside. बाहर तो नहीं बोलता था. I was telling everyone कि हाँ, I'm confident, but inside me I knew that I was not confident. But this time, before the exam day, even like 2 weeks before the exam, I had a confidence in me कि हाँ, this time, whatever the paper comes, we can crack it. Because first thing is the hard work had been there. So I had put in a lot of effort this time studying on the weekends. And I'm a working professional, by the way, so I did not have time to study on weekdays. Only weekends I had full time to study on, and on weekdays I used to study post office. So after office was done at 4 o'clock, from 6 to 9 or sometimes 11, I used to study. And I think the sessions also used to happen a little bit late in the end days, 11 se leke 12. Some sessions used to be there, so I used to religiously attend those. And definitely doing mocks, that helps a lot. So I think, first thing is getting the foundations intact, because without the foundations, you cannot do the 2 degree or 3 degree difficult sums, right? So that was the main. होगा, कॉल्स आएंगे कि नहीं, कितना परसेंटाइल आएगा. तो माई माइंड वॉज वेरी डिवाइडेड कि अच्छा, आई वॉज थिंकिंग अबाउट द लेटेस्ट स्टेज इवन विदाउट कंप्लीटिंग द फर्स्ट स्टेज. एंड दिस टाइम व्हाट आई डिड वाज just completely forget about interviews, forget about percentiles. I did not think about percentile, like Ravi sir and you keep saying, focus on the marks more than percentile. Ki need to finish 10 sums in quant at least to easily cross that 90 threshold. So focusing on marks was more important, and that really helped me ki not think about the interviews at all. To be honest, that really kept my mind completely focused on CAT. So I think that is something I would advise people as well, whoever are writing the exam, ki focus first on the exam. Uske baad you start thinking about interviews. You have ample time later.
Definitely. There are some things which needs time to improve. Definitely.
Yes, sir.
In terms of personality, like weak areas are different from other person to person. So that depends also, right?
Definitely, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. ठीक है, so that's the main point. When did you start preparing for CAT?
This year or last year?
This year.
Yeah, this year I enrolled in the course in January. As soon as it has started, like Jan mein kuch the course had started, but I started preparation from March, because to be honest, last year CAT ke baad I was kind of in a dull phase for two months or something like that. But I kept thinking ki chalo, what's done is done, let's focus on the next time, kyunki thinking about the past will not change it. Have to think about the next thing to be done. So from March I started my preparation wholeheartedly. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October tak, and I think November May it was just revision and going back through the. Even April is a good time if you are putting in the, what do you call it, proper study pattern and finishing syllabus. I think the main thing in preparing for CAT is mocks. The more mocks you do, the more you get used to the timing, because getting to solve the sums in the time and moving on from sums you're not able to solve, that's really important. It's not like you have to solve all the sums. You have to know which sum you have to touch now and which sum you have to chodo and come back later. So that mentality definitely built up for me as I did mocks. because mock के बाद में when I did the same sums, I could do it because the pressure was not there. बिना pressure के, बिना time limit के, it's much easier to do the sums. But in a time limit, even the easier sum, you doubt yourself and you feel कि अरे इतना जल्दी easy हो गया, सही आंसर आया कि कुछ गड़बड़ कर दिया. That mentality stays. So I think the longer preparation duration is only because mocks. You need to do a mock and you need to analyze the mock also. I often used to take around 3 to 4 hours to analyze a mock which I had completed. Sometimes the whole day used to go just in analyzing a mock, and I used to think, अरे ये day पूरा waste हो गया क्या? I just spent analyzing a mock today, आज कुछ नया सीखा. But to be honest, that time invested in analyzing mocks, even if it took the whole day, that helped me a lot. Because उससे मुझे पता चला कि अच्छा this topic geometry में I can do this sum in 10 seconds. अच्छा this topic algebra में I might need 1 minute, but I can do it. Like देखते ही घबराना नहीं है. I have to get into it. 1 minute में हो जाएगा. So each person के लिए that is different, of course. Each person has their own strengths and weaknesses. And only by analyzing the mocks you have done, and then listening to the videos of the solutions provided by the teachers on how the questions have been there, you get to know कि अच्छा मैंने ऐसा किया, but this is a much better way to do it. और sir used to pick up the questions I could do easily and focus on that and get those done first. And questions that might take a little bit of time, I come back to that within those 10 minutes time and do those things. So again, this is something that I had to reinvent and build up as and as I did mocks. So the more mocks I kept doing, I could understand कि which type of work works for me. कि अच्छा geometry में आएगा तो like my strategy for geometry was if it has a diagram, I would attack it right away. अगर diagram नहीं है तो okay, I would come back later. So again, I think this is a little bit personal with respect to each person on how their strengths are. And ultimately, yeah, as and as anyone does mocks, they are able to analyze which sort of questions are there home ground and which questions they might need to do later. So yeah, definitely practice was what helps. And I think those timed questions that we had those ASCAT timed questions in the app. So that really helped me because that was again having a few questions for each time intervals, and yeah, that helped me to analyze which questions I could do first and which questions I could do later. So that was mainly my strategy. But I think the most important thing was to be confident, because confidence is definitely key. Once you have that थोड़ा भी डर आ जाता है तो it gets difficult. Even the easy sums are not able to do. And that's what happened to me last time as well. Last time LRDI में there were a few difficult sets in 2023 when I had done. Actually easy set भी था, but I had mistakenly picked a difficult set. And after doing that LRDI में खराब आ गया, तो I had a feeling in my mind कि अच्छा LRDI is completely gone for me. अब quant करके क्या फायदा? So that sort of mentality set in, and even quant I could not perform well. But that's what I try to improve in the mock. So in each mock, I used to be like, after each section, mind fresh karna hai, you need to give your best. And until the last stage, it's not a race, it's a marathon. You have to keep like where I used to write my note. I had a notes for my mocks analysis, and after the exam was done, after the key was presented, I would go through every question from first to last. Even the questions I got right, even the questions I got wrong. I used to keep each page for one question. Questions which I got right, I used to do it again just in case, and I used to time myself. कितना time लगा, and then I used to think, अच्छा exam में I took this much time, but now I'm taking this much time. So कुछ improvement है क्या? And then I used to check the method which the teacher presented, and how better is that method. So is that something which I did? Agar if I did the same method as the teacher, I used to be like, okay, nice. So I understood the concept as well as sir had taught me, so I was able to employ their method. If it was a different method, I was like, okay, I did not completely understand, so I could not think it in that way. So I used to think of it in that way. Even for VARC, not much to be written there, but to understand exactly how the thought process is there. And for LRDI and Quants, yes, for the questions which I did not get, again, I would resolve it completely and try to understand क्यों exam में नहीं आया. And I used to mark it down why I got it wrong in exam. Like, was it a formula question जिसका formula नहीं पता था मुझे, or was it too lengthy and I got afraid and skipped it, or was it something which I attempted but थोड़ा calculation mistake करके wrong आ गया. So I used to maintain these notes, and whenever I was having some free time, I used to go back through these notes and just check the questions which I got wrong. So it stayed fresh in memory, and it kind of made me think and remember those strategies again and again. So this is what I employed, but I think something similar of this sort, I would not say everyone to spend the whole day on mock analysis, but at least the amount of time spent for the exam, at least 2 hours. So definitely you need to overall going back through it again. That is definitely something that might help, especially if someone thinks that they are weak in quant or LRDI. Going back to the questions again and again definitely keeps it fresh in your mind.
बिल्कुल, definitely. अच्छा, in terms of preparation for LRDI specifically, right? Because lots of students ask कि LRDI कैसे prepare करें, right? How
Yes,
do you
sir.
do this? तुमने कैसे किया?
So LRDI was definitely a black box for me. In some mocks I used to do 2 sets completely. In some mocks I used to not do a set completely. In some mocks I used to do 1 set completely. So this was I used to feel that this was my weakest section. Even क्योंकि quant तो you can do, if you know the concept you can do it. But LRDI is definitely a black box, and you cannot honestly know how to do that. And last year जब मैंने CAT लिखा था, I did the second slot last year in 2023, and वहाँ पे I picked up one of the question where there was some sort of exhibition, some ticket prices and stuff like that, and I wasted almost the entire time in the exam just doing that, and I was not able to solve it. But later जब answer key and all आ गए and I sat home and tried to do it again, I was able to do it very quickly in like 20 minutes. And I felt कि अरे घर में तो इतना easy हो गया, exam में क्यों नहीं हो पाया. I was like beating myself up for it कि what the hell man, why did you not do it there. So then I realized that the main thing in LRD again is keeping your calm. Keeping calm is very much important, because especially LRDI mein, if you pick a set and 5 minutes ho gaye and you did not get anything, so you start getting a fear inside you ki 5 minutes are done, I have just a little bit more time to focus on this question, and because of that fear, whatever you've done till now, even that goes blank. So that's what happened to me, and I think that's what happens to a lot of my friends as well. So the most important thing is, don't lose your calm. Be very calm and be very systematic about it. Doing 2 sets, everyone suggests to do that. And this year we had a different CAT paper. We had a lot more sets. I think 4 sets or 5 sets was it? Yeah. So this year it was a bit different. But then again, this year the sets were a bit easy also. So that kind of helped out to do more questions. But ultimately the thing is to maintain your calm and composure. And to improve my thinking speed, I used to do Sudoku whenever I had free time. Sudoku, and there were some other math puzzles. Karuto, I think. I just had them on bookmarks and just opened them up and did those. Kakuro, I'm sorry. So mostly it was Sudoku, but some of these puzzles whenever I had time. And I think out of all the mock series I've done, I'd also done a few other mock test series, but in the RCMs, the LRDI sets, I would say, were the most challenging and the most, different sets, which kind of really helped me think a lot. So I've done the RCMs mocks as well, the Rodha mocks, and I really felt, I can vouch for it, that the LRDI sets were definitely really good in Rodha. So those really helped me out to think differently and, get a proper idea. The main thing is not to get afraid, because question mein they can ask anything. They can ask about prime numbers, they can ask about even and odd, they can have some series, they can have a family relationship, but you need to maintain your calm and go through it. So that's the main giveaway.